China's first foray into big budget gaming is a huge success, but it's coming with accusations of censorship. Black Myth Wukong is inspired by the Chinese epic Journey to the West. Its Chinese developer, Game Science, is backed by Chinese tech conglomerate Tencent, although it holds just a 5% stake in the company. Chinese media say it is the most expensive game ever developed in the country. The budget exceeded $50 million, and it's considered China's first AAA game. So far, so good. The game is lauded by reviewers and users alike. It has a generally favorable score of 81 on review aggregator Metacritic, and it's the most played game on PC storefront Steam with more than 2.2 million concurrent players on Wednesday. Well, despite the glowing reviews, French streamer and games journalist Benoit Rainier, who goes by the handle Xserve, says he's never seen anything so shameful in his 15 years doing the job. Ahead of the release, reviewers like him who got advanced copies also got a list of topics to avoid. In Rainier's words, to censor themselves. Beijing-based Hero Games sent a document that included a list of don'ts for Black Myth Wukong content. Reviewers were told to avoid trigger words like quarantine, isolation, and COVID-19. Well, let's dig into that first. China faced mass protests in 2022 over its strict zero COVID restrictions, which included lockdowns in major cities, not to mention the proliferation of the term China virus that manifested in the immediate aftermath of the pandemic. The Chinese government, for its part, continually denies any evidence of the Wuhan lab leak theory. Okay, back to the game. Another bullet states, do not include politics, violence, nudity, feminist propaganda, fetishization, and other content that instigates negative discourse. I'm pretty unclear what they mean by feminist propaganda and why it's included with fetishization and nudity, though a report from France 24 in July says the CCP wants women to focus on motherhood and the home and has cracked down on feminist activities like talking about discrimination, inequality, and striving for independence. China locked up a journalist for writing about the hashtag #MeToo movement, saying she's guilty of subverting state power. Okay, more rules for users of the game. Do not discuss content related to China's game industry, policies, opinions, news, etc. Well, China famously made efforts to reduce video game addiction in young people, including limiting game time to no more than 90 minutes on weekdays and 3 hours on weekends and holidays. It also banned incentive-based gaming rewards that can lead to spending more in-game. Despite the censorship controversy, the game still secured $56 million in pre-orders, according to Citi. Chinese-produced games don't usually make a global impact. Goldman Sachs says the immediate success of Black Myth Wukong opens the door to more Chinese AAA games on the global market. Users and reviewers alike praise the combat mechanics, fun boss fights, and the stunning scenery. Black Myth doesn't include microtransactions, which have become commonplace in pretty much every major game release recently. That means the developer and publisher are only relying on the one-time price of the game. But Chinese state-owned paper Global Times says the important thing is China is finally getting its own AAA game that can excite the world. The game is available on PC and PlayStation 5, but won't hit Xbox platforms until a later unspecified date. For Straight Arrow News, I'm Simone Del Rosario. Go check out our piece on microtransactions at san.com or the Straight Arrow News app.